Emergency broke new ground by bringing viewers inside the fast-paced world of paramedics, firefighters, and emergency hospital staff with a realism rarely seen on television at the time. Its cast delivered performances that were both inspiring and deeply human, creating a series that continues to influence medical dramas today. As the years have passed, some of the actors who made Emergency so compelling have tragically passed away. This tribute looks back at their contributions, honoring the powerful roles they brought to life and the legacy they left on a show that forever changed how audiences viewed first responders. Julie London was born on September 26, 1926, and stepped into the role of Nurse Dixie McCall in 1972 at age 46, portraying the poised, empathetic, and authoritative head nurse at Rampart General Hospital, whose sultry charm and calm under pressure anchored the chaotic world of emergency medicine. Dixie's personality blended professional assertiveness with emotional intelligence, making her the connective tissue between doctors, paramedics, and patients, and earning her a devoted following among viewers who admired both her competence and compassion. London's early life, however, was far from serene. Born in Santa Rosa, California, she grew up in a family fractured by financial instability and parental conflict, often feeling overshadowed and ridiculed, experiences that fostered her cool exterior and careful concealment of vulnerability. Her career journey was equally tumultuous. She transformed from a glamorous pin-up model into a celebrated torch singer, recording over 30 albums. Yet her transition to acting was marked by skepticism from critics and peers who doubted a singer could carry a dramatic television role. Off-screen, her personal life was a whirlwind of high-profile relationships, including marriages to Jack Webb and later to Bobby Troup, fueling Hollywood gossip, while her heavy drinking and chain-smoking were open secrets that would take a toll on her health and reputation. Her most notable professional challenge arguably stemmed from balancing her music career with the demands of a weekly television series, which occasionally led to tensions with producers over scheduling and creative control. Despite these pressures, she maintained a dignified public persona, her voice and presence commanding admiration. London passed away on October 18, 2000 at age 74 from a stroke complicated by lung cancer, leaving behind an estate valued at $10 million, composed of music royalties, acting residuals, and smart investments, securing her enduring legacy as a multifaceted entertainer whose personal struggles only deepened the allure of her public brilliance. Bobby Troup was born on October 18, 1918, and assumed the role of Dr. Joe Early in 1972 at age 54, embodying the cerebral, wryly witty neurosurgeon whose calm demeanor and intellectual presence lent stability to Rampart's ER, making him both a mentor and a comic foil within Emergency's high-stakes medical environment. Joe Early's personality reflected precision and reassurance, capable of quelling panic with a well-timed quip or steady hand, and he became a beloved figure to audiences who appreciated both his skill and understated humor. Troup's own life was a complex blend of artistry and celebrity turbulence. Born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, he grew up in modest circumstances, developing a precocious musical talent while contending with family instability and early social marginalization. Professionally, he achieved fame as a jazz musician and songwriter, penning the iconic Route 66. Yet his Hollywood career was marked by the constant tension between artistic ambition and the commercial demands of acting, with occasional financial strains from rumored gambling debts in the 1950s, adding to his behind-the-scenes struggles. His marriage to Julie London was frequently the subject of tabloid fascination, highlighting both their glamorous public image and the pressures inherent in blending two high-profile careers. Though largely scandal-free in later years, whispers of youthful excess, risk-taking, and indulgence in Hollywood's party culture painted a portrait of a man whose charm masked persistent personal trials. Troup died on February 7, 1999, at age 80, from a heart attack in Los Angeles, leaving an estate valued at approximately $5 million, derived from songwriting royalties, acting income, and real estate holdings, preserving his cultural impact and financial legacy, while underscoring a life in which talent, personal ambition, and public scrutiny intertwined inextricably. Tim Donnelly was born on September 3, 1944, and debuted as Fireman Chet Kelly in 1972 at age 28, bringing to emergency the mischievous, charismatic prankster of Station 51, whose humor and lighthearted defiance masked a courageous and dependable paramedic spirit. Chet's personality combined playful irreverence with genuine heroism, often serving as comic relief while demonstrating loyalty and bravery in the high-stress world of emergency response, endearing him to both colleagues and viewers alike. Donnelly's upbringing in Los Angeles placed him at the intersection of privilege and expectation, growing up with family ties to Universal Pictures, provided opportunities, yet also subjected him to scrutiny and comparison, prompting periods of self-doubt and social pressure that informed his on-screen charm and off-screen reticence. His career was marked by early promise, but later stagnation. After Emergency concluded, he struggled to secure consistent roles, retreating from mainstream acting in 1984 and resurfacing sporadically in cult films such as The Toolbox Murders, reflecting both the fleeting nature of television fame and the challenges of sustaining a long-term acting career. Off-screen, Donnelly's reputation for wild partying in the 1970s and candid admissions of financial instability highlighted the gap between celebrity perception and personal reality, revealing a man both resourceful and vulnerable. His personal life remained largely private, though accounts suggest difficulties in sustaining long-term relationships, compounded by the pressures of early fame and subsequent career decline. Donnelly died on September 17, 2021, at age 77 from complications following surgery at his home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. His net worth was estimated between $900,000 and $1 million, reflecting a brief but memorable television career, sporadic film work, and personal resilience in the face of professional and financial challenges, leaving a legacy defined by humor, courage, and the bittersweet reality of fleeting stardom. Michael Norell was born October 4, 1937 in Wallace, West Virginia, and joined Emergency in 1972 at age 35 as Captain Hank Stanley, the steady, authoritative leader of Station 51, whose calm presence and dry wit guided his crew through life and death emergencies. On-screen, Stanley balanced discipline with paternal care, creating a reliable anchor for both paramedics and audience alike, earning affection for his understated heroism and unflappable demeanor. Norell's childhood was steeped in hardship. Raised in a working-class family during the Depression, he endured the ridicule of peers over his slender frame and quiet temperament, and learned to mask vulnerability behind determination and intellect. Professionally, Norell navigated a career of highs and lows. Though he enjoyed steady work on stage and screen, he grew frustrated with typecasting as the moral center, and occasionally clashed with producers over character development. His transition to writing offered redemption, yet he faced rejection from several scripts early on, including a shelved pilot he co-wrote that nearly derailed his reputation. Privately, his life was largely scandal-free, though he wrestled with the quiet disappointment of unfulfilled ambitions and the pressures of maintaining relevance in Hollywood's fickle landscape. Later years brought personal challenges as friends and colleagues passed away, leaving Norell reflective on the fleeting nature of fame and relationships. Michael Norell died on May 12, 2023 at the age of 85 from natural causes, leaving an estate valued at $2 million accumulated through his work as an actor, writer, and producer, a legacy marked by creative persistence, understated influence, and the affection of fans who admired the calm authority of Hank Stanley. Vince Howard was born July 16, 1929 in St. Louis, Missouri, and appeared on Emergency in 1972 at age 43 as Officer Vince, the quick-witted, street-smart LAPD officer whose easy rapport with the paramedics added warmth and realism to the series. Vince's on-screen persona was affable, resourceful, and often the quiet mediator in tense situations, earning him recognition as the everyman among a cast of dramatic heroes. Howard's early life was riddled with instability. He grew up in a racially segregated neighborhood, endured financial scarcity, and witnessed family discord experiences that forced him to cultivate charm and humor as shields against humiliation and social marginalization. His career path was unconventional, beginning as a jazz musician and nightclub performer, before transitioning into acting, which earned him steady supporting roles, but also left him vulnerable to industry exploitation. Whispers of gambling debts and nightlife excess in the 1960s circulated, though never formally substantiated. The most significant professional setback was a recurring role loss due to rumored off-set disputes and clashes over salary, a blow that fueled a period of professional insecurity. Howard's personal life mirrored this volatility, with romantic entanglements and brief marriages that drew private attention but avoided public scandal. Amidst these pressures, he endured the losses of close colleagues and mentors, all while maintaining the composure that made Vince a beloved character. Vince Howard died on November 14, 2002 at the age of 72 from natural causes, leaving an estate of roughly $500 reflecting a career of modest but steady work and a life that intertwined artistic pursuit with personal resilience. William Bryant was born January 31, 1924, in Detroit, Michigan, and joined Emergency in 1972 at age 48 as the captain of Engine 16. The stern, no-nonsense authority figure, whose brief but memorable appearances lent credibility and gravitas to the series' portrayal of emergency responders. On-screen, Bryant projected disciplined pragmatism and a commanding presence that contrasted with the more personable paramedics, establishing a sense of institutional weight within the narrative. His childhood was marked by economic hardship and familial instability in Detroit during the Great Depression. He faced teasing for his physicality and reserved nature, cultivating a disciplined persona as both a survival mechanism and personal shield. Bryant's career was prolific, yet fraught with behind-the-scenes tension. While respected for roles in Star Trek Mission Impossible and numerous television appearances, he earned a reputation for competitiveness and an unyielding approach during auditions, occasionally alienating peers and producers. His most significant career disappointment came when he lost a major contract due to creative disagreements, costing him both visibility and financial security. Bryant's private life remained largely free from scandal, though he navigated complex familial dynamics and the quiet pressures of maintaining relevance in an evolving television landscape. Later years brought health challenges and the mourning of contemporaries, underscoring the transience of Hollywood success. William Bryant died on June 26, 2001 at the age of 77 from cancer, leaving an estate estimated at $1 million, derived from decades of television work, representing a life of professional consistency and enduring contribution to the depiction of public service heroes on screen. Ted Gehring was born on April 6, 1929, and appeared on Emergency in 1972 at age 43 as Clinton, a minor yet memorable role whose gruff charm and blunt pragmatism added authenticity to the show's emergency room and field scenes. On-screen, Clinton was direct, no-nonsense, and quietly commanding, a man whose understated presence grounded chaotic moments, making audiences trust his authority despite minimal dialogue. Gehring's real life was far more textured. Raised in Texas, in a family strained by economic hardship, his early years were punctuated by financial scarcity and emotional rigidity, forcing him to develop self-reliance and a hardened exterior. Childhood teasing and social marginalization instilled a careful control over his emotions, a skill that would later allow him to portray tough, stoic characters with convincing authenticity. Professionally, Gehring built a career on supporting roles across television and film in the 1970s, frequently typecast as enforcers, cops, or roughnecks. While never embroiled in public scandal, colleagues noted his heavy drinking and penchant for after-hours barroom storytelling habits that sometimes complicated late-night shoots or early call times. His greatest career disappointment may have been the repeated near misses, with more prominent roles for which he tested successfully, yet lost out to younger or more conventionally charismatic actors, a pattern that reinforced his position as a reliable but peripheral presence in Hollywood. Personal life details remained discreet, though friends hinted at solitary tendencies and an occasional melancholy, rooted in years of being overlooked professionally. Gehring died on September 28, 2000 at 71 from natural causes in California. His estate, consisting primarily of a modest home, residual payments from television appearances, and small personal savings, was valued at roughly $400,000, reflecting a career of consistency and understated contribution, rather than fame, leaving behind the legacy of a quintessential character actor whose hard-edged realism enriched every production he touched. William Boyett was born on January 3, 1927, and appeared on Emergency in 1976 at age 49 as Chief Mechanic, the stern and disciplined battalion chief, whose authoritative presence dominated Station 51, making him an imposing figure, both feared and respected by viewers and characters alike. On-screen, McGenig exemplified unyielding protocol, a man who valued order above emotion, and his interactions often heightened the tension and humor of emergency scenarios. Off-screen, Boyett's early life in Akron, Ohio, was shaped by a household where expectations were strict and resources limited, producing a youth that demanded resilience, resourcefulness, and a respect for hierarchy, traits that naturally informed his later career, portraying law enforcement and military types. His path in Hollywood was steady, but fraught with the subtle frustrations of typecasting. Although celebrated for his reliability and commanding presence, he frequently clashed with directors over creative choices, insisting on authenticity that sometimes conflicted with production schedules or commercial considerations. The most notable professional setback occurred during a network pilot, where a clash over character interpretation led to his dismissal, a disappointment that reportedly haunted him privately, though it never derailed his career. Boyett's personal life was stable but understated. He avoided scandal and maintained a reputation for professionalism, though the demands of constant work often limited social engagement outside the industry. Later years brought health challenges typical of his age, compounded by the psychological strain of a life largely dedicated to work. Boyett died on December 29, 2004, at 77 from pneumonia in California. His estate, composed of property holdings, residuals from decades of television work and savings, was valued at approximately $1 million, a modest fortune reflective of an enduring, disciplined, and largely scandal-free career in classic television. Virginia Gregg was born on March 6, 1916, and appeared on Emergency in 1972 at age 56 as Nurse Wilma Jacobs, a professional maternal presence whose competence and warmth ensured Rampart's ER functioned smoothly under pressure. Wilma's character was emblematic of dedication, empathy, and quiet authority, providing audiences with a stabilizing figure amidst medical crises and workplace chaos. Gregg's early life in Harrisburg, Illinois, was marked by limited means and a conservative family environment, producing a youth where personal ambition had to contend with societal expectations and economic constraints. Early experiences of social derision and the struggle for recognition fueled her determination to succeed in radio, television, and film, where she became known for her prolific supporting work, including the voice of Norman Bates's mother in Psycho. Professionally, Gregg achieved steady employment, but often lamented being typecast in secondary roles, a source of private frustration. Despite decades of contribution, she rarely commanded the spotlight, and her dedication sometimes clashed with directors or producers over creative decisions. Her personal life remained largely private, free of scandal, though she reportedly felt constrained by the era's limited opportunities for women in leading roles, a tension she carried quietly throughout her career. Later years were challenged by illness, including her battle with cancer and the gradual loss of contemporaries and colleagues. Gregg died on September 15, 1986, at 70 from cancer in California. Her estate, including modest property, royalties, and personal assets, was valued at approximately $500,000, reflecting a life of professional dedication, artistic persistence, and quiet endurance that left an indelible mark on television's golden age of character actors. Stephen Marlo was born on July 13, 1927, and appeared as Old 87 in 1973 at age 46, embodying a grizzled seasoned firefighter whose brief but memorable presence lent gritty authenticity to Emergency's depiction of life and death crises in Los Angeles. On-screen, Old 87 was stoic, taciturn, and imbued with the weary wisdom of a man who had witnessed countless emergencies, his quiet authority grounding the chaos around him and earning the respect of both his fellow characters and viewers. Off-screen, Marlo's childhood was marked by instability and scarcity. Growing up during the Depression in a lower middle-class family, he endured financial hardship, frequent moves, and persistent teasing for his shy, introspective nature, which forced him to develop a guarded exterior and a wry sense of humor that would later define his professional persona. His career trajectory was that of a journeyman actor, hopping from minor roles in Dragnet to Adam 12, frequently struggling to secure steady work or recognition, and developing a reputation among casting directors for bluntness and occasional insubordination over line delivery and scene interpretation. One of the most serious setbacks of his career occurred when a pilot he had invested heavily in collapsed during production, leaving him financially strained and questioning his place in television. Marlo's personal life was private but complicated by lingering loneliness and a tendency toward isolation, compounded by the deaths of several close colleagues during the 1970s. He maintained a modest lifestyle, living frugally while pursuing his craft with integrity. Marlo died on November 7, 2019 at age 92 from natural causes. His estate, including a small Los Angeles home savings and residual royalties from guest appearances, was estimated at $300,000, leaving a legacy defined by steadfast professionalism, understated talent, and a life lived largely outside the glare of celebrity. Gary Crosby was born on June 27, 1933, and appeared as Tom Wheeler in 1972 at age 39, portraying a rugged, pragmatic character whose grounded presence reinforced the realism of Emergencies' early seasons. On-screen, Wheeler was resilient and streetwise, often providing the unvarnished voice of experience amid the urgency of medical crises, traits that mirrored Crosby's off-screen persona as blunt, self-assured, and sometimes volatile. Crosby's childhood in Los Angeles was far from ideal. As the son of Bing Crosby, he faced a complex mix of privilege and neglect, growing up under the shadow of a famous father, whose alleged emotional and physical abuses he would later recount in a shocking memoir, igniting a bitter and enduring family feud. His career was punctuated by personal and professional turbulence, struggles with alcoholism, chronic gambling, and repeated clashes with producers over creative control made him a divisive figure, while several high-profile divorces and tumultuous relationships fueled tabloid speculation. Crosby's most devastating career setback was a series of failed television pilots in the late 1960s, which he invested in both financially and creatively, only to see them collapse, leaving him publicly embarrassed and deep in debt. His personal life mirrored his professional volatility, marked by estrangement from siblings, public family conflicts, and repeated brushes with financial instability. He faced declining health due to heavy smoking and drinking, compounding his private struggles. Crosby died on August 24, 1995 at age 62 from lung cancer in Los Angeles. His estate, comprised of music royalties, acting residuals, and book earnings, was valued at approximately $1 million, though much had been dissipated by personal mismanagement, leaving a cautionary legacy of talent intertwined with family trauma and personal excess. Anne Whitfield was born on August 27, 1938, and appeared as Betty Johnson in 1972 at age 34, playing a warm, relatable character whose compassionate demeanor added emotional depth to Emergencies' fast-paced medical environment. On screen, Betty embodied empathy and resilience, providing both the audience and the other characters with a sense of moral grounding and resonating strongly with viewers who saw in her a reflection of ordinary courage. Whitfield's early life was challenging. Born into a working-class family during a period of economic uncertainty, she faced frequent teasing for her quiet, studious nature, and was expected to contribute to the household from an early age, experiences that cultivated her patience, empathy, and ability to connect with others, qualities that would define her professional and personal life. Her career, while free of scandal, involved persistent challenges, typical of character actors. She navigated a competitive industry, endured periods of unemployment, and ultimately chose to retire quietly in the 1980s to focus on family and community work, declining offers that would have propelled her into more public prominence. Her personal life was stable, but deliberately private, marked by a commitment to raising her children and supporting local causes, eschewing the Hollywood limelight for personal fulfillment. She also experienced the natural grief of losing close friends and colleagues over the decades, an emotional weight she bore with quiet dignity. Whitfield died on February 15, 2024, at age 85 from natural causes in her home. Her estate, comprising modest property, personal savings, and residuals from her television and stage work, was valued at approximately $500,000, leaving behind a legacy of understated talent, personal integrity, and a life devoted to nurturing both on and off the screen. Jim B. Smith was born on August 20, 1924, and appeared on Emergency in 1974 at the age of 50 as a police sergeant, a role that leveraged his commanding presence and ability to convey authority with minimal dialogue. On-screen, Smith's character exuded stern discipline and a no-nonsense approach that grounded the chaotic hospital and paramedic storylines, becoming a quietly stabilizing force for both characters and audience alike. Behind the scenes, Smith's life was far less placid than his composed demeanor suggested. Growing up in a working-class family, he endured financial hardship and frequent criticism from a strict father, cultivating early a penchant for perfectionism and an ingrained sense of responsibility that would both drive and isolate him in adulthood. Professionally, Smith navigated the precarious world of character acting, often overlooked for lead roles facing rejection and typecasting that left him frustrated and occasionally volatile on set. His insistence on precision during rehearsals earned him a reputation as difficult, and whispers of clashes with directors and co-stars circulated in Hollywood casting circles. Personal relationships were muted, but marked by emotional distance, reflective of a man whose career absorbed much of his energy and whose early childhood experiences discouraged emotional vulnerability. Health concerns in later life, combined with the inevitable ebb of professional opportunities, added quiet stress, though he maintained dignity and commitment to his craft. Smith died on May 7, 2009, at 84, from natural causes, leaving a modest estate of around $250,000 accumulated from decades of steady work in supporting roles, a tangible but unremarkable legacy that underscored the often unseen labor of character actors whose faces are familiar yet whose names rarely headline. Lou Brown was born on March 18, 1925, and appeared on Emergency in 1972 at the age of 47 as the first sheriff, a cameo that lent a rugged frontier authenticity to the series and reinforced its occasional Western motifs in the urban Los Angeles setting. His character, gruff, blunt, and authoritative, provided a brief but memorable anchor amid the paramedics' frenetic rescues, exemplifying a moral and procedural backbone that subtly influenced audience perceptions of law and order. Brown's upbringing was steeped in modesty and struggle. Born into a family of limited means, he faced financial precarity, early responsibility, and social teasing that shaped his stoic, sometimes brusque personality, a veneer that persisted through both his life and career. Professionally, he traversed Hollywood's supporting role landscape for decades, achieving a stable yet unspectacular career. Though free of scandal, he endured periods of financial instability, particularly in later years, when opportunities for aging character actors diminished, leading him to supplement income with minor parts and small appearances. His private life remained largely hidden, reflecting a man who valued discretion and privacy, though the emotional cost of a largely solitary lifestyle was never publicly documented. Brown passed away on July 27, 2014 at 89 from natural causes, leaving an estate estimated at $200,000, a sum reflecting the modest accumulation possible for actors who contributed steadily yet unflashily to the fabric of Hollywood storytelling, securing a quiet legacy that highlighted the understated value of reliable character performers. Kip Niven was born on May 27, 1945 in Kansas City, and appeared on Emergency in 1972 at the age of 27 as Billy Hanks, a young, impulsive character whose brash energy and headstrong behavior injected narrative tension and unpredictability into the series' paramedic storylines. On-screen, Billy's audacity and recklessness provided dramatic counterpoints to the disciplined medical team, endearing him to viewers who relished the collision of youthful impulsiveness with structured professionalism. Niven's childhood was marked by relative normalcy, yet shadowed by the subtle pressures of a Midwestern upbringing that emphasized achievement and control, instilling in him an ambitious drive alongside occasional rebellion against authority. His career, while steady, was punctuated by personal and professional turbulence. 3 marriages, including one to actress Linda Lavin, ended in bitter divorces compounded by publicized rumors of infidelity and interpersonal tension, and his headstrong reputation sometimes made collaboration difficult on set. A major career disappointment came when he was passed over for recurring roles in projects where he was originally promised significant screen time, an experience that left lasting frustration and disillusionment with Hollywood's inner workings. Health and personal struggles were compounded by the pressures of maintaining public and professional relevance amid shifting television landscapes. Yet he maintained a robust presence in both TV and film, including notable appearances in Magnum Force and Alice. Niven died on May 6, 2019 at 73 from natural causes, leaving a net worth of approximately $1 million accrued over decades in Hollywood. A reflection of a career that, while affected by personal turbulence and the vicissitudes of the entertainment industry, left a legacy of memorable supporting performances, versatility, and a candidly lived life under the spotlight. Thank you for watching as we reflected on the lives and legacies of the actors from Emergency who are no longer with us. Their humor, charm, and unforgettable performances brought joy to millions and helped shape the show into a classic. While their journeys ended far too soon, their impact lives on through every scene, every laugh, and every memory they've left behind. As we honor their lives, we're reminded of how deeply television can touch our hearts. Join us next time as we look back at more stars who left us too soon, but whose stories continue to shine.